My friends are so depressed. I feel a question.
Yeah, we're back. Come on, baby. Good to see you guys.
Always starting the intros awkward these days, so we get a better setup.
Yeah.
All right.
Love it. Keeps things interesting.
What's going on, everybody? Had some Red Hot Chili Peppers coming on. Pacific Sports Talk Radio.
Yeah.
Episode 23.
Here today. It is Tuesday, September 7th. We're here, man, and football is back. That will be the majority of our show, I think, today.
Yeah, this is our Michael Jordan podcast, so we're going to make it extra special.
We'll play episode 23. 23, man. Love it.
All right, man. So we're going to get into some NFL discussion, and we're going to be talking about the picks that we like and the ones that we suggest you guys take, and if you guys want to make some money this weekend.
Yeah, so we'll go over, NFL betting, obviously, and then we'll dig a little bit into the Dodgers-Giants later at the very end. But this is mostly a football show today because, man, football starts on Thursday with the Bucs-Dallas, and I love it. Good to be back.
Yeah, for those of you who watch our show, you guys know we're biggest on football out of the three major sports.
Yeah,
We like basketball and baseball as well, but we know football the most.
love football.
Yeah.
Best sport ever.
All right, so let's get into it. We could talk a little bit about Thursday night football matchup just because it's coming up close.
Yeah.
So Cowboys are hosting the Buccaneers and the defending world champions.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that? You're the resident Tom Brady fan. So, what do you think about that, Brady?
So I don't know the record, like historically, for ex-Super Bowl winners on opening day, but I thought that there was like an interesting stat on that I wanted to bring up, but I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, wait till you find
As
that.
I'm not ready for it. But I think that the Buccaneers should win this one handedly, given the fact that they've had more time together as a unit than Dak Prescott has obviously been injured. So I think just in terms of like time together and like just the run they had in the playoffs, I feel like they'll carry that momentum over and win by a touchdown. I don't know.
Wait, no, it's not a Jerry World. It's in
Oh, it's not. It's
No.
in Tampa.
no. That's why they're such big favorites. I think it's a part of
Wow.
it. Yeah,
That changes everything, actually.
I was looking at that today and I saw the commercial and I was like, you've been saying it's been in Dallas. It's cool.
Someone else told me that.
Yeah, no. So it is in Tampa Bay.
Wow.
So right now, I think the spread has gone. At least ESPN says it's gone all the way up to 8.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's as of right now, that is the largest spread of the week, which is pretty crazy. But I think what's my take on this? I think bringing back every single starter, all 22 of them, is amazing, and the way they were able to pull that off, being Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to start off hot, just like they did. I don't think with Tom Brady on your team, you can really have a hangover.
So I have some information. And this is up to the 2019 season. I don't have 2020. But I believe that the Chiefs covered as well. Teams since 2000 as Super Bowl champions are 12-6-1. This is up to 2019. I can't confirm if the Chiefs covered, but I think they did.
Covering the spread?
Yeah.
Wow.
12-6-1.
So that's like
66.
a little less than 66%.
66.7%.
Wow.
But I think that the Chiefs won last year.
Either way,
I'm not
anything
getting
over
that.
60% is really high.
Yeah, so we like the Buccaneers at home to cover. They just have too many weapons,
And they're all back.
They're all back together.
And so the chemistry's gone up, obviously.
Yeah, I like that matchup a lot now.
I do think. Well, we actually took them to cover 6.5. We bought a point.
Yeah, we did.
Earlier, before people, it was 7.5, and we bought a point for them to cover a touchdown, and it's looking even better now.
I think a touchdown's like about right.
Yeah. I think 8's kind of a lot, but
Other thing we like in that game is the over.
we really like the over.
Oh.
Yeah. I do think that it's going to be interesting. I think the over is going to hit because of the lack of tape that defensive, coordinators have on the offenses. But I gotta say, Tampa Bay's rocking a really great defense. Obviously, we saw what they did to Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and the Dallas Cowboys have some dudes up front now, and like their number one overall, their first round pick, I think they picked him 10th overall, was the Penn State linebacker, and that dude's a stud. He runs like a 4.4 or something.
Wow.
So I do think it's going to be an offensive game,
Yeah.
but they do have two very solid defenses that I think may both be in the top 10, 12 in the league by the end of the season.
So who like just matchup wise, who do you like this week? Not getting into fantasy crazy here, but let's just talk about like maybe some performances to keep an eye on. Let's start with the Buccaneers. Is there like any player specific that you're going to be watching?
The Buccaneers.
Personally, for me, I just want to see if Mike Evans can continue to find the end zone. That's kind of like something I'm really looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I think, your take, we talked about it off air. I think Antonio Brown's going to have a bigger part of the offense. I don't think it's going to be massive.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to take away from Godwin and Mike Evans, actually.
Yeah.
And is O.J. Howard now healthy?
I mean, they're just going to rotate him, Gronk, and Braid. And
I don't think Gronk's going to play that much, to be perfectly
Gronk's a
honest.
playoff tight end.
Gronk is a mercenary that comes in at the end of the season. Like, I don't think Gronk, if you guys are playing Gronk for fan, I wouldn't do it, to be honest.
Well, Tom and Gronk have such a connection.
I know, but,
But it's only really necessary.
you don't want to wear him out. Like,
No.
He looked healthy last year, but it's because they time managed him. It was like, you know what it was? A good comp to that? I thought about it. Like Kawhi. You know how Kawhi, before he got, like, they just barely put him, like, he'd play 20 minutes, 25 a game, 20, They have to manage Gronk. They're not going to start Gronk. The first 5 games of the season, I don't think he's going to be playing much, to be perfectly honest.
But out of their tight ends, I know as a fantasy option, he's not ideal. But out of their tight ends in the playoffs, right, like, the reason what makes Gronk so valuable is you have to double up Mike Evans and Godwin, and you got Gronk running a seam across the middle.
But this is not relevant for this
It's
week.
not relevant at all for this week.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just bringing it up.
Oh, no, he's a totally valuable asset.
I know. I'm always out on tangents here.
We'll be in like 3 months. We'll be talking about Gronk.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt.
We'll be back to Gronk talking a little.
We'll be like, I just for this game, I wouldn't recommend if you had him in fantasy to start him unless you were pretty desperate.
He's hit or miss. Yeah, he's really touchdown dependent.
Because you could have a major goose egg. Is what I'm trying to say.
But here's what I'm interested in is with Mike Evans, right? Like he had career lows at like air yards, at receptions, and because of the crowded receiver corps.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also had a career low in yards. Even though he hit his mark for 1,000, he was by far one of the lower seasons that he's put up. The reason why he was able to have a salvaged season in fantasy is because he found the end zone like 15 times.
Well, you know what? Tom loves those big targets, and it's who's the focal point of their offense? It's Godwin. That's who it is. Godwin's going to get all the deep passes. Mike Evans has now become. He's much more touchdown dependent these days.
He's like the new Gronk for him during the season.
Well, yeah, because the guy's 6'5" or whatever.
He's essentially a
huge.
tight end.
Yeah, he's essentially a tight end.
I think Godwin is going to play more of a Welker role, and that's why. I see value in him.
You don't see him outside?
Outside is fine, but I think that
because Welker never went outside.
You're right. But that's what makes him dangerous. Is he's a Wes Welker that can play deep.
Yeah. I think he's going to be lining outside mostly, but yeah, I do agree with you. I think they're going to rotate him in and out. He's going to be inside, outside. But Tom's going to give him the 20+ yard bombs.
But what we're curious to know is because Tom every season has this guy. He has his Edelman. He has his Wes Welker. Last year was a different year because he was getting accustomed to the new offense.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's going to be a guy on that offense. They're not all going to have the same.
Too many mouths to feed. Yeah.
Someone's going to get more fed than the other, and that's just the way it goes.
So, okay, this is an interesting conversation. So,
which one would you take? I wouldn't want Evans.
I would take Godwin. I think so. I would take Godwin. I mean, I think he's going to get all the majority of the
in terms of
targets
skill and just like personnel. Like he fits the role that has been like Tom's primary fantasy like feeder.
And I just think like Mike Evans's targets are now more valuable because he's
Yeah.
getting the end zone ones.
Yeah.
But if he's not getting that, man, he's like, what is he, like 60 or 70 yards a game? Like that's not.
Mike Evans is going to be good for them to win games. Like he'll be down there for the first down that they need. He'll get a 20-yard first down. No one's going to stop him. He'll probably
He's a first down, third in anything over 5. He's a machine.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I like Godwin over 70 yards this week.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's just a little, a little-
I don't love the corners in Dallas. They have some good like alright ones.
That's just a little prop I'd throw out.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I think just getting into it. I
Man, I might take AB for a touchdown. To be honest with you, I'd watch AB.
that's the other
AB
thing.
in the slot. That's why AB's gonna be in the slot more than
I think,
AB's older now, man.
I think AB's stats, like these are things that really went under people's radar, like in fantasy football with the.
And we're talking about Antonio Brown, by the way.
Yeah, with
AB.
AB Bowman. With the playoffs, you're not really following it the same way you did during the fantasy football season. But Antonio Brown and Godwin had killer playoffs,
Mhm.
like killer. Godwin led the team in yards in every game.
Yeah.
And I think Antonio Brown didn't miss the end zone.
Yeah.
Like I think he hit the end zone in every single playoff game.
He got 2 and a couple too.
Yeah, so it's just, man, it's something to look out for. Cause
Yeah, I would. I think you'd get good odds on that AB for a touchdown, like as a prop. Like I think it'd be pretty good.
maybe plus 200 or something.
Could be higher than that.
I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it pretty high. I mean, it's like calling out someone.
If it's over 300, I would take it. To be honest with you, like
I think plus 250 is nice.
Yeah.
Put $50 on
you
it.
could do it. Yeah,
All right, so
I'd go to Dallas. We should go over to Dallas.
yeah, let's go over to Dallas. So their offense is interesting. Dak Prescott missed the entire season after week 3 with that big ankle injury. Lower,
That was rough to watch. If
Lower
you
leg.
saw people, I wouldn't recommend watching it.
huge bummer for Dallas. As always, high expectations, right? And they don't really seem to reach those.
I think with Mike McCarthy as their coach, I still know they need a real like dude at the reins, and I don't know with Jerry, because Jerry doesn't let them get a real coach really. And I'm not trying to talk crap about Mike McCarthy, but he had that Super Bowl, but he's kind of a dinosaur. Like that was 11 years ago. Like,
Yeah, I think as far as like McCarthy goes, he's got a lot to prove, and like obviously
Yeah.
he's on the hot seat this season because we all know that the way it works in Dallas is if you ain't winning now, you're out,
yeah.
and that's been the way several coaches have gone out in the last like 4 or 5 years.
Well, the thing is, like, Jerry Jones wants a figurehead. Because the problem is, Jerry Jones, I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl again until Jerry Jones, like, lets the coach do what he wants to do. Because Jerry Jones definitely calls up McCarthy and says, do this, do this, do this. I mean, that's how, what's his name had his job so long? Their last coach. I'm blanking on his
I'm
name.
blanking on it.
We know that's going to bother
It's
them.
not the defensive coordinator, right? Like Mike Nolan's their defense.
No. I think he's with the Chargers now. Anyways, he had the job so long because Jerry, he was a figurehead. Jerry ran everything. Jason Garrett.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you.
The redhead. Yeah.
No, but we were always saying why this team is going 7-8. Like why the hell does this guy still have his job after 4 or 5 years, whatever it was? I forgot. And it's because Jerry ran the show and Jason Garrett just allowed him to. So that's why the Cowboys will never reach their heights, even though their team from a paper standpoint is actually pretty freaking solid. They have a great roster.
Offensively, yeah, it's huge.
I think, man, with Dak back, I know he had a shoulder problem in camp because he was favoring stuff. I don't know. I think it was because of his ankle
It's
stuff.
totally because of his ankle.
And so he's wearing a strap or something. I forget under his pads. I don't know if he's still wearing it. Last week he was.
Dak's a slinger though.
He is. But like it's kind, it kind of reminds me. They're like the Seahawks, but like with a better defense, kind of. But obviously Russ and Dak is a big gap. But I think from their other weapons, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup as a third receiver is insane.
That's an interesting comparison because like I feel like I like the Dallas receivers a little bit more.
They're deeper.
I think DK Metcalf is the best out of all of them, obviously.
Lockett's too inconsistent,
But Lockett's too inconsistent.
and he gets hurt.
And like Amari's the inconsistent one,
Mm-hmm.
but I like Amari a little more than I like Lockett.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you.
And then CeeDee Lamb, I think we're gonna watch him break out this year
Yeah,
if Dak stays healthy.
yeah. I think CD is a really solid player. I think it goes DK. I don't know, CD maybe. CD hasn't proven anything, but I like CD a lot. And then I'd say Amari, then I'd say Lockett, then I'd say Gallup, and then I don't even know who the Seahawks have as a third. They drafted some dude out of Western Michigan or something, a speedster.
And the
but,
other-
like,
And the other thing is, like, the reason why the Cowboys' offense is so lethal is because they have those wide receivers and the quarterback to pass it, obviously, with Dak
Mhm.
Prescott. But then they also have Zeke.
and their O line is much
O-line's
better than the
monstrous,
Seahawks. Their
monstrous.
O line, that's where the
But
Cowboys.
Zeke is, like, you can't sleep on that guy. Like, if you
No.
try and put all your guys on the wide receivers, then he's just going to run up the middle for 35 yards.
Yeah, so I wanted to get to Zeke. So if we were doing so, we said Godwin, right? I would be watching Zeke, to be honest. Like I'm very, because the last couple years Zeke has really underperformed.
We're on Zeke watch.
We're on Zeke. I think Zeke, the offensive line is healthy. Dak is now back. They got a ton of weapons receiving. I think Zeke is going to eat this year.
And I think Tampa, like, in terms of the matchup, they're good at getting to the quarterback. I don't love their ability to defend runners. They didn't really face any big-time, like, up-the-middle threats. Like, in the playoffs especially, the Redskins didn't really have great. I know Antonio Gibson's all right, but they weren't able to utilize him correctly.
They kind of got, like the playoffs, it's all matchups. They didn't really face a team that, like, faced their weakness.
Well, what was
Like,
able,
they didn't get a heavy running team. I
what
think
was
they're
able
not
to
great.
beat Tom Brady 2 years ago? It was Derrick Henry.
Run the ball.
The way you beat Tom Brady is you get the ball. out
Time
his
of
hands.
possession.
You get the
It's
ball. out of his
all
hands.
about possession.
If he's facilitating the way
Yeah.
the clock management is going,
You're screwed.
you're screwed because
Yeah.
he'll have you on your heels the entire game.
Yeah, it's running the ball and getting to him as fast as you can.
Why did teams like the Ravens and the Steelers, well, not the Steelers actually, but the Ravens, why did they give them problems? Good defense, good running.
keep him off the field? Just time of possession. You got to win the time of possession battle.
And that's why the Niners, Buccaneers, I think, if the Niners are able to get in the position, I think Shanahan could give the Tampa Bay team problems.
Yeah. The problem with the Niners is you just got to complete those tough passes.
That would be a freaking, I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, but wouldn't that be a hell of a matchup? That'd be fun.
Yeah, Tom Brady's childhood team, and that'd be crazy.
That'd be
He
fun.
almost went here, yeah. Anyways, so Zeke, I think Zeke could have a hell of a year, from a fantasy perspective and a real perspective. I could easily see him as a top 3 running back. Easily again. I mean, he looks in better shape. He doesn't look as heavy.
Yeah.
It looks like he lost like 15 pounds or something. Like he looks a lot skinnier.
He's taking it a lot more serious.
I
'Cause
think
he knows with Dak back, like his stats skyrocket.
I think both of them, they're tied to each other
Yeah.
from a fantasy and a statistical perspective. Like if Zeke isn't taking pressure off, Dak like by running like well, then Dak can't play well, and vice versa.
I mean, who knows what Dak Prescott and that team? I know they probably would have. I don't know. They're an interesting team, but who knows? Like statistical wise, what those players would have accomplished last season had Dak not gone down.
Yeah, true.
Because he was putting up career numbers in those first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I totally agree.
400 yards a game almost. I think he averages like over 300 in his career. So
Yeah. I do think he's a little overpaid. I thought that
He's
contract was a
overpaid.
little bit, but I think a lot of quarterbacks are overpaid.
in terms of being a winner, he's unproven. But in terms of like just putting up numbers and getting the ball into the hands of their their stars,
Yeah.
he does that well.
Oh no, I like him. He's a great leader. I don't think he should be paid like a top 3 quarterback.
No,
He's not a top 3. He's not a top 3 skill set. Like
I'd say borderline top 5 in terms of raw stats, like it just in a statistical approach.
oh stats, yeah, but like I do it like who would you rather have? Like I'd rather have Herbert than him, and Herbert hasn't proven anything. I like the upside. Like
Yeah, Herbert's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, well that's that game. So we think the over is gonna hit. I think good chance.
Just with the offensive power.
And I would take, if you can,
Tampa.
I take Tampa 6.5 so that it doesn't. You don't. If it's 7, you don't get a push. Obviously.
We don't dislike -8. I think that's a good chance. But if you guys buy a plan on that, you'd feel
5.5.
And then those other props, like we said, Godwin.
So we also like Godwin.
Godwin yards over
70.
Yeah.
And then Antonio Brown a touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to dive as deep as we just did, but this was the first week.
That was the first game.
the
That's the
first
first game back, and it's a big, those are big names.
We'll skip around. We'll do mostly NFC West, and then we'll talk about matchups that we like and think that you guys should take betting.
Yeah.
Okay, so line movement on the Eagles and Philadelphia, or Eagles in Atlanta.
Oh, it's -3 now.
Really quick. It was 3.5. It moved
3.5.
to 3.
Wow.
People are hammering the Eagles. It seems
We
like.
have the Eagles, mostly
Yeah.
because he convinced me into it. But the more we've talked about it, the better. So
Just in the terms of like what these teams were last year.
yeah.
Because like think about it. Week 1 of the NFL is one of the biggest coin flips of the year, right?
Yeah.
We don't have any information.
There's no tape on anybody. That's
No
the thing.
information.
Only last year's stuff.
What
and
do we
that
know?
Gets old quick.
But what we know from last year is the Falcons were down here, and the Eagles were an up and down team that were, consistent quarterback play away from making the playoffs.
Yeah, the Eagles. I mean, it basically comes down to this: the Falcons have a better offense, but the Eagles are very close. But the disparity between the Eagles' defense and the Falcons' defense is massive.
I mean, the Eagles are only 3 or 4 years removed from winning a championship.
And they still got Fletcher Cox. They still got a hell of a defensive line.
Is Slay one of their guys too? One of their corners? Darius?
Darius, yeah,
He's
I
a
believe
beast.
so. Yeah,
He's still a beast.
they have a great defense. So we're thinking, the Eagles might take that game. So.
Yeah, just with the different looking Atlanta group, I expect them to put yards and numbers up, but I don't know. I'm not too big on this Falcons team right now.
I think they're gonna have to. They're gonna air the ball out like hell.
I have that Falcons team projected 4th, man, in that league, in their division. Do you think that they're better than the Panthers? I don't know. It's gonna be.
I think that's an interesting matchup. I don't know if
I think
with Matt Ryan.
I know Bucks.
They have a shot with Matt Ryan.
It's Bucks first, easily. It has to be.
Yeah.
Barring no major
the
injury.
Saints still have too good of a roster.
I think it goes Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons. It depends
You're
on.
really throwing Matt Ryan down. They still got Matt Ryan.
I'm not, but what did they need? They needed.
They needed a defense, but they picked the best player on the board, so they got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, but that's not going to solve their issues.
They'll just have to score 35 points a game.
Exactly. So the other thing that we like in this game would be the over.
The over. Yeah.
If you believe in the Falcons team, you like the over. But if you think the Eagles are going to cover, I don't see the Falcons scoring a whole lot of points.
Yeah.
I think Eagles win that game. All right, let's call our score on that. I have a feeling that it could be Eagles 24 to 17 or something.
I was literally just thinking that.
Really?
I was literally just gonna say 24-17. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to put on for that. I was thinking about that right now. I think that's a good call. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking 24-17. Yeah.
You like that? All right.
Well, that happens a lot. 24-17.
And we're riding the over on that. That's probably an under right there.
That is an under. It's 50.
48, 24.
Is it 48?
Yeah.
Wow.
24-17. That's under.
Okay. So that's the under. Yeah. Under in the Eagles money line, I guess.
It just depends on how the Falcons offense can play. There's a lot of question marks, man.
If you're gonna bet on the Eagles, don't bet on the Eagles +3. Just take the money line.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Take the money line. The money line's nice.
Okay, so we'll jump to the next game.
Wait, can I just get into it one last thing? The reason why I'm iffy on the Falcons, though, and now that I think about it more, is there's a lot of question marks, right?
Same thing with the Eagles, though.
There are, but I feel like there's more with the Falcons because Julio Jones was a pivotal piece in their offense for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Mhm.
Regardless of who he was last season, I still think him in the lineup is a threat. He is a huge threat.
He's totally a threat.
Can Ridley? I know Ridley's great and he had great games.
Can Ridley be a 1?
Can Ridley be the true one? We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Can Pitts get on the same page with Ryan in week 1?
Mhm.
We'll see. That I don't know, man. That doesn't always happen the way you want in a rookie tight end.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone's George Kittle. They don't always put up those kinds of numbers.
Yeah.
So Kyle Pitts is one of the most talented at the position that we've seen. But I don't know. And I also think Mike Davis at the running back, I know they're never
I don't love that.
they're not a huge running team, but like we essentially know that they're going to be passing.
There's just gonna be checkdowns to him. Like he's not gonna even like. Is he gonna? He'll probably average like 10 carries a game max.
What kind of running are they going to do?
10 to 12 carries a game.
Don't even look.
They're just gonna throw the ball. They're literally they're gonna.
They're just airing it out.
I can't see a quarterback. Maybe the Chiefs, but not many other quarterbacks with more passing attempts this year than Matt Ryan.
Dude, the more I think about it, the more I think Falcons are just going to get run over.
I think they're gonna score some points. It's at home.
Okay.
It's if it was in Philadelphia, I'd say it's done. It's over.
Oh yeah.
If it was in Philadelphia, it's in Atlanta.
That's the thing this week, man.
It's in the dome. Like I think
They didn't give us any gimmies this week. I feel
no. Like this game is still like very like.
The spreads are fun.
I do like the other. I think the Falcons are going to score a couple touchdowns.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the next one.
Okay. So Steelers Bills, which we took part in. So it's still -6.5.
Is that in Steelers?
Uh,
Oh, it's in Buffalo.
Highmark Stadium. That's it. That's the Bills, I believe.
I expect the
Yeah.
Bills fans to be coming at it wild. I'm just gonna refill my water.
Yeah, no worries. So one of our other bets, we like the Bills at -6.5. We would take the touchdown. The Bills have so much talent, and they've just created more, continuity after 1 year. I think they're hungry. You saw that picture of Stephon Diggs, standing on the field after the Chiefs beat him, like to suck it in. I don't know if you I read about that.
Stephon Diggs is like a legit top receiver. Like he really proved himself.
Yeah. So, the Steelers have a lot of weapons, and I don't know what the over.
I was thinking I like the over in this one.
They're gonna score a lot, I think. Yeah.
Don't you kind of? I think because let's talk about the Steelers really quick. I know last year their record was really great, but we know that they had one of the weakest schedules of all time.
They still have a really good defense.
Their defense, but they didn't get tested that hard.
In the AFC, what the heck are they? They're in the best division of football. Well, arguably.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't.
They play the Ravens and the Browns twice a year. Like that's a lot.
Oh, I know.
Like I think they got tested a bit.
I mean, we experienced similar things in our division, but
No, the NFC West is bad, but I think they're a close second.
no, I got you. I just think that the Steelers, aside from their home games, they really didn't have that hard of a schedule last year.
Yeah.
Um,
Any Mike Tomlin team, man. Mike Tomlin's never gone under 500. I think the Steelers are always dangerous.
yeah, he'll definitely keep them competitive for sure.
I do. The more I think about it, I do like the over in that game because I think last year I bet on the Bills 4 or 5 times to hit the over, and they hit the over every time.
I mean,
And I like the Steelers' offense. They get a lot of weapons.
we know the Bills are going to score at least 20,
Yeah,
right? Like
they're going to score a lot.
28 points.
Yeah, the Bills are a high power offense.
Yeah, I think the over is good in that one, and Bills -6.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Vikings Bengals. It's still -3 Minnesota.
This one this one like I lean Vikings because that's like the smart pick, and like that I feel like you're kind of nuts to go Burrow and just like you're kind of riding like a train there. That
Burrow hasn't looked good this preseason, and he's like said like he doesn't feel right. Like in some interviews, I'm kind of worried about Burrow. I really hope they didn't mess him up like
Jimmy,
like Andrew Luck got messed up. Like the Colts messed up it with that crappy offensive line.
drafting Jamar Chase.
It's basically a coin flip that game.
Drafting Jamar Chase was a little questionable. I know he's their homie, like they play together.
I like Jamar. He's had a problem with drops.
They could have had the best offensive lineman from Oregon.
Yeah, I really hope that doesn't come back to bite them. Yeah, because even though I went to Bama, like I have respect for Joe Burrow. I hope he's not major messed up.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But yeah, I wouldn't do. I don't know the over or the under. I if I had to bet on this, I don't love it, but I think the Vikings can cover 3.
Yeah, we're just gonna go across all of them. Might as well.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
say the ones we like.
at the end. We'll come back around and say like the 3 or whatever we like the most.
All right.
Niners Lions still -7.5.
Yeah, the line's not budging because obviously Shanahan has yet to confirm who's the starting quarterback.
It's gonna be Jimmy.
It's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. We know that. We know what to expect with Jimmy. The offense is good. They're healthy. The defense is going to be better. I think hammer the Niners this week. I don't see them losing to a team with a new quarterback who has had lots of problems against the Niners in the past. I just think it makes too much sense to bet the Niners this week.
I would say so. Some people think this is a trap game.
Don't overthink it.
The lines are really bad, but you know what? You have to take into account that Jared Goff might be the worst quarterback. You know, like he plays so poorly against the Niners. Like he plays so bad. It's like it's. I don't have the stats of Jared Goff. The Niners love playing Jared Goff.
I will say this to the Lions fans' credit. You guys have played the Niners pretty well over the years.
No, they have. They totally have. But I think Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's the fact.
If Jared Goff, if
that's a Stafford.
If the Lions still had Stafford, I'd be worried about this game.
I would. Even,
I think they cover. I think the Lions would cover.
As a Niner fan, cover easily.
I'd have the Lions cover.
I would be interested, and
And they're major dogs.
They're dogs, but like they could come back with a field
with
goal.
Stafford.
Yeah.
If we were Niner fans, I think with Stafford, they're so deep. I think they're +3 or 400 or something. It's pretty bad.
Money line, man.
I would probably money line them, even as Niners fans. But with Jared Goff there, I have full faith that they'll win by 10 points. To be honest, so we recommend taking the Niners to cover. We are a little bit biased, but as you guys just heard, like we would if Stafford was playing, man. I don't know if I'd bet against the Niners, but it wouldn't shock me if they came back and upset them, you know. But
so
Cardinals, Titans.
People are actually. It looks like Detroit.
People are betting on Detroit.
People are betting a lot of money on Detroit.
Yeah. I just think Jared Goff is the X factor in the negative way for them.
But actually, so there's good money. Like there's a lot of money on Detroit, but 80% of the bets are going to the Niners.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's like one of the biggest payoffs money line wise of the week, right? It probably is.
We like the Niners.
We like the Niners to cover.
All right. Do you want to talk Denver Giants really quick? I know that's kind of a shit show.
I'm kind of going down the list.
Line's different, so I have Cleveland KC after this. I know they're all.
Oh, you have that on. Okay. You want to do Cleveland? Okay, I'm gonna have to jump around then. Okay, we can do that. Is that -6 on yours?
-6.5 now.
Ooh, ESPN still is -6.
This is updated.
Wow.
-6.5. This is Action Network.
Yeah.
So -6.5. Kansas City. Let's get into the Super Bowl loser and see how they fared. I think that the information's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl loser week 1.
I'll go into Action.
Bet against Super Bowl losers in week 1. That's an interesting one. So, wow.
Bet against.
Wow. Let me read the stat. This is 2021. This is August 21st. Indeed, the 12 seasons between Super Bowl 34 and 45, the loser of the big game failed to cover every season in week 1. That's right. 0-12 against the spread.
We talked about this. Yeah.
No, we talked about how good the Super Bowl winner was.
No, we said the Super Bowl losers play terrible the next season. I didn't know this 0-12 thing though.
Well, we talked about it a little, but we haven't gotten into it on the podcast.
0-12. That's.
Yeah, we talked about how the winner was 12-6.
I don't know if I'd have the Browns. I'd have the Browns cover maybe. Like I don't know if I'd have.
But this is the thing though.
Isn't it in Arrowhead?
It's in Arrowhead. Here's the difference though, and
this is fascinating. 0-12. That's hard to.
What has Mahomes been able to do?
You're talking about they have their weakness basically, right? They're Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, I'm going in a lot of different directions here. My mind's.
I like the Browns running the ball. The Browns run the ball.
0-12, man. ATS, that's crazy. But there's also a lot of different factors here. The Browns are gunning for them. They lost to the Chiefs. They want to beat the Chiefs, right?
The Browns have a lot to prove.
There's a lot of storylines here.
Yes.
I think Browns spread is a safe bet, but if we're talking about the win, I would not go money line Browns. I think that the Chiefs are going to win this game, but they're not going to cover the spread.
They have Mahomes. I can't see them losing this game.
But at the same time, it's like they have Mahomes, right?
It's very interesting.
It's like the one guy who could break an 0-12 streak.
It would be him. Yeah. See,
Would
that's
be-
what I'm thinking. I think we should take. I would take Browns spread though. That's interesting. With that stat, like.
But it's not losing; it's against the spread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
they haven't been able to cover the spread. That doesn't.
I
mean
like
that-
the spread one. You're right.
So do we continue this 0 for 13 with the spread? If that means you pick,
13 is a bad number.
you pick the Browns. You know what? Maybe we take the fucking Chiefs on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like.
Well, let's take that out. Okay, that's crazy. But like we wanted to take the Chiefs to cover originally,
Yeah,
right?
we did.
Did we take the Chiefs to cover?
I think we did.
No, we didn't. It was the Bills. No, we didn't take the Chiefs to cover. No, we didn't take. It was too sketchy a game, remember? Because the Browns, we said the Browns have something. I don't know. I don't know about that game. I'm pretty. That game could go either way.
I think Mahomes is gonna end that.
Okay. Well, okay. We're not gonna go for 0-13. 13's an unlucky number. I think
We're gonna take Chiefs. Spread.
Chiefs to cover the spread, which is yes.
You know. Streaks are meant to be broken, right?
And if anyone's gonna do it, Patrick Mahomes.
It's the
will.
greatest. It's the greatest quarterback, talent-wise of all time. Talent-wise.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope there. All right, Denver, New York.
No, I think he's pretty talented.
No, he's great. On to Denver, New York. So this game is an absolute just. It's a total. It's literally the definition of a coin flip. I think it's the most coin flip game of this entire week.
All right. We think tails, Broncos, heads.
So Teddy Bridgewater, you're gonna flip a coin.
Tails, Broncos, heads, Giants. Right?
I like the props.
Tails, Broncos.
Where is it?
Denver. Oh, it's in New York.
Wow, this is
I'll tell you what the best.
61% of the money's on the Broncos.
Should we do best 2 out of 3 just to make sure?
This is
Here,
a sketchy.
you tell me.
The
what-
under. I think the under's gonna hit. I think they're both terrible offenses.
I like the under. Yeah.
I like the under. I don't want to do who wins.
Hey,
I don't
hey,
like
hey,
this at
just
all.
really quick, let's do 2 out of 3 here.
All right, I'll catch it.
All right, you go.
Let me just go.
do it.
All right. What was it? What's
So
what?
the first one was tails. It was Broncos.
Tails Broncos. It's heads.
All right, Giants.
Okay.
It's a pretty close matchup here.
Tails.
Broncos. Yeah. This is-
Okay, so we wouldn't recommend doing the Broncos,
We-
but
We'll do one coin flip bet a week
yeah.
on our just we're not sure kind of game, just for fun.
So the over/under is 42. That is extremely low.
Our coin flip bet says the Denver Broncos are winning, though.
Yeah.
We're going to include that in the description and just track that throughout the year. I think that'd be funny.
Just do all of them.
Not all of them, just one bet that we call a coin flip.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
It's a coin flip bet.
We like the under. If you had to vote,
If there's scientific information involved, it's the under. If
I
there's-
would do the under.
If you guys believe in magic, we're talking
Do
about,
magic, the coin flip bet. I
talking
like
about
that.
Denver.
That will be. We just
created something.
created that. That just happened.
Spontaneous.
All right. So Green Bay, New Orleans. This is one of our favorite games of the week, and we love the over for this game.
Yep.
It's going to be a shootout in the dome, and Jameis is going to throw a lot of touchdowns. that's where I think we're at here.
Kamara's going to have a big game.
Yeah.
Because the Packers, defensively, man, they really had a hard time against Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Lenny went off on them.
Kamara's going to get so many catches for like 30 or 40 yards. Like, it's not going to have air yards. It's going to be like 5 air yards.
So, in September 27th, 2020, last year,
Yeah.
the two teams met in the Dome. And I know they had Drew Brees, but the final score was 37-30.
Oh.
That was a 67-point They hit the over
I
by
just,
quite a bit. I'd be shocked if the over.
I love the over, and that will come back around, but I think that's one of our three. Now for who wins, I know you think Green Bay is gonna win. I mean, you think New Orleans is gonna win, right? In the dome.
I don't really love that. I guess if I had to bet, like, I think it's kind of a trap game. I think Aaron Rodgers should win though. Like just out of
It can't be a trap game with Aaron.
like you got to pick the quarterback, right? Like we don't
Yeah,
know what Jameis Winston's capable of. I know he got his
you
eyesight
know
fixed.
what? You know what I think the storyline's gonna be?
What?
I think it's going to be, Aaron Rodgers barely squeaks out of New Orleans with a victory. Jameis Winston shines with 4 touchdowns or something. 5 touchdowns. Like, I think that's what it's going to be.
We like the over in this.
We love the over in this.
Yeah, if you guys have some money to throw down and you want to make a little something this weekend,
It's 50, by the way.
just
It's
throw
50
it on.
points.
Throw it on the
I
over.
think the over's going to hit.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll jump. Miami, New England.
I'm gonna grab a phone charger. I know I'm all over the place.
You're good. So Miami, New England. This is a pretty fascinating game. Obviously, Flores is the only Belichick disciple to have ever been pretty solid afterwards as a head coach, and obviously there's a ton of storylines in this game because Mac Jones, Cam Newton a couple weeks ago got cut. Mac Jones is the starter, and he's going to face his former Alabama teammate, Tua Tagovailoa,
Yeah.
who's also starting. And I would stay away from this, betting-wise, with the 10-foot pole. I don't know what the hell to think about. It's 2 rookie quarterbacks, essentially.
Yeah. This is.
Because Tua barely played last year.
Should we track another coin flip or no? Just once a week?
Nah, once a week.
Yeah, once a week.
And I don't even really like. I don't know what the hell. I think New England's going to win, but, I don't know.
I know New England's favored. Just because
Only by 3.
I think what to expect in this game, I thought about it a little bit, is Belichick is gonna have a good game plan to counter what the Miami Dolphins have to put offensively. We can guarantee that Belichick has been planning. He's got a scheme. He's gonna give to us some problems.
I like Flores, though, being able to counter that. Flores is the only successful disciple, as I said.
So then let's just talk about this. Then.
I think it's fascinating, this game. This is going to be a great game.
Let's talk about this then, right?
Yeah.
Belichick, Flores, right? 2 ex-teammates.
Yeah.
Mac Jones, Tua, 2 ex-teammates.
Same coaching staff.
Why don't we just do this real quick? I think this is a fun way to go over it. Belichick and Flores, who do you give the edge to?
Belichick.
Okay. So we're going to give Belichick the edge in this, right?
You have to.
Okay, Mac Jones and Tua. I think
Mac. I don't. Tua had to get his entire hip replaced.
I know.
I love Tua. They're both Alabama. I went to Alabama. I love them. They're great. This is really tough. I think I would take New England to win, but I don't. The Dolphins' defense is totally bolstered now.
They got good secondary.
And they have so many good picks now. I just think they're another year or 2 out, So I think I would take New England. But New England's team, this game confuses the hell out of me. This is almost as bad as the Broncos-Giants game.
I think I like Miami +3.
To cover +3?
Yeah, they're a 3-point underdog.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet.
I wouldn't bet on this game.
I'm just saying, if I had to do a stupid...
If you had to do one, it's in Miami, right?
If you're pointing...
I'm pretty sure it's in Miami.
No, it's in New England.
It's in Gillette?
Yeah.
And you're going to bet on them to cover +3?
Yeah.
Oh, the majority of people are betting on them.
The Dolphins have had their way with the Patriots. I mean, think about...
They are the one team that has given him trouble. Yeah.
Think about that.
Saban's
Do you really believe in Mac Jones that he's going to... I mean, when Tom Brady was there, he had trouble against the Dolphins. And now this team's way better.
Yeah.
You think a rookie quarterback is... I mean, Tua had a little experience. I know it wasn't great. But I feel like he kind of hit his stride a little bit at some point.
I literally don't know what to... I don't know what to think about Tua.
I mean...
Because I haven't seen Tua really play.
There's 2 narratives that can take place. Tua Tagovailoa, whatever his last name.
Tagovailoa.
Tua can't keep up with the NFL. If he doesn't win this week, there is going to be a big spotlight on him whether or not
The
he-
fan base is
he
going to be
can
upset.
perform. Right?
Yeah.
And if Mac wins, Mac hype is just going to go out the roof.
Oh, Mac hype is going to get him to another level.
I think this is bigger must win for Tua than it is for Mac.
Oh, that's easy. This is a bigger. This is all about Tua this game.
This game,
Like, because Mac has a long leash. Tua has a short leash right now.
I mean, Ryan
I still wouldn't bet on this game.
Fitzpatrick took that team to a playoff position, and Tua ended up taking
They
them out.
pulled Tua. Flores pulled Tua because he wasn't playing well and put in Fitzpatrick. Like,
It's magic, baby.
I don't know. This is a tough game.
Yeah, we're staying.
We're split on that. He would take the Dolphins to cover +3. I think I'd take New England to cover -3. I wouldn't bet on this game.
Chicago and the Rams. I think that one's going to be a Ram win. Matt Stafford's record. Let's look at what he's done against the Bears. We like to look at stats here. We like to really know what we're doing.
This is going to be interesting.
on this podcast.
You're going to see Stafford over there, not in a.
So the Bears are 9-11 all time. It's pretty even. When they were divisional rivals with the Lions. Matt Stafford has completed 63.6% of passes for 5,404 yards with 32 touchdowns and 23 interceptions and an 86.3 passer rating. So it's pretty standard. Like
He's 86.3 passer rating.
nothing wow.
That's not good.
nothing wow.
I'm not impressed with that.
Can Dalton pull it out? Man. Or is Justin Fields playing? That's probably Dalton, right? Have they announced it? I think
It's Dalton. It's Dalton. But I think I wouldn't be shocked at halftime they throw in Justin Fields.
They're getting
actually.
smoked in the preseason.
I don't know. The Rams should cover, but the Bears still have a good defense. I don't know. The Bears know Stafford. This is also a tough game for me. I wouldn't bet on this game either. Is this in Chicago or is this in SoFi?
It's in SoFi.
Okay. So it's in LA. I don't know. I think Stafford's going to have. I think the narrative. I would follow the narrative. I think Stafford's going to have a good game. The Rams hype is going to go up. He's going to beat one of his old rivals. They're going to be like, oh, well, Stafford actually has a squad. Even though I don't completely agree with that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to give Stafford the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I can't believe Nagy's not throwing Justin Fields out there. It's almost like he doesn't want him to get hurt by Aaron Donald.
Really? You think that's why?
Well, I don't know why else. Or that promise that they made Andy Dalton, which is kind of crazy to me. But I think the Rams take this one.
Okay.
I don't know if it's 7.5 though. That's kind of a lot.
Well, we're going to have to take it because that's what the spread is.
I know.
Do you like Rams 7.5 or do you trust Chicago plus 7.5? That's a good line.
It's in LA.
That's a good
It
line.
is a good line.
Maybe
Maybe Chicago. I don't know, though. I hate Andy Dalton. No, I'm going to take the Rams to cover because if Justin Fields was starting, I know that sounds crazy because we don't know anything about Justin Fields, really. I think I'd take the Rams to cover that. Just because Andy Dalton, what if there's a giant hole and they stick in Justin Fields at halftime, you know? What if Andy Dalton gets picked off twice, you know, and then they have to pull him? Like,
And then Fields is just, he's a new quarterback.
he could play really well, but the hole might be too big, the deficit.
He could play great or he could have some struggles as new quarterbacks generally do.
Yeah, against a really, 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 really good defense, Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So I'd take the Rams to cover. I don't love that game.
All right, last but not least, we
Monday Night Football.
have Ravens Raiders.
This is in the Death Star, right?
I think it's in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, so all the money's on. I heard this is kind of a trap game for the Ravens. I've heard some people.
Yeah.
The spread is split. The money on it. It's 4.5. I could totally see the Raiders winning this game.
I mean, Vegas would love it, right? Because Vegas, the money's all on the Ravens, and Vegas is the Raiders. So Vegas would be making a killing if the Raiders were somehow able to win this. don't sleep on the Raiders and their ability to upset and beat teams. That
Derek Carr's all right.
Derek-
Ruggs is in the offense. Another year they got Jacobs.
You know,
Waller.
you know what about the Raiders that is interesting is we know what we're gonna get, kind of. In the same sense that we don't, we kind of know. Like Waller's gonna be their focal point. They have a good decent running game.
Their defense just isn't very good.
No,
And the Ravens have a really good defense. So it's a little.
you got to pick your trap games wisely.
I think the Raiders in their first game, I don't know. They might take it. I wouldn't bet on this game either, but
Yeah, man. I mean,
I kind of think the under's going to hit in that game. 51 is high for me.
think so.
The Ravens run the ball. All they do is run the ball.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's tough for me. 4.5 is an interesting line. Yeah, we just have dead air right here.
Yeah.
So
No,
this is a tough game.
Yeah, man.
I don't love this game either. Like, I'm not a big fan of this game. So
I guess Ravens.
I guess we take Ravens to cover 4.5.
That's the safe pick.
It's not too high.
We don't want to take Raiders, even though they could easily win this.
I think it's a little crazy.
I would-
Joseph.
I would be upset with myself if we took the Raiders and the Raiders got blown out.
Because that can totally happen.
Totally.
And we'd be like, wow, that was just a dumb bet.
I'd just be like, wow, we're stupid.
That's really dumb. We are really dumb.
We're not going to overthink it. We'll react to the Raiders next week, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe they're a team that we can make money on this year. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, we missed a couple games.
Who?
Well, you made me switch over to the other thing. Arizona, Tennessee.
Oh, okay. That's the only one we missed, right? And the
No, we missed Seattle, Indy. The Chargers, Washington.
Oh, God. Okay.
Jacksonville, Houston.
Let's see how long we've been on air here. 52 minutes. Okay. Let's
Let's breeze through these because
Let's lightning round. All right, I'll call it out. Okay, Arizona, Tennessee. Tennessee's favorite -3. It's
I like Tennessee.
I take Tennessee. Yeah, I don't trust Cliff Kingsbury at all. So we think Tennessee's going to cover -3.
Yep.
Seattle, Colts. Wow, this is 2.5. Seattle's favorite 2.5.
Mm.
I take the Colts.
Think so?
I like the Colts money line, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Carson Wentz is back, right?
Yeah.
I think the Colts. I think it's in Seattle.
Colts. No, it's in Indianapolis.
Oh, I like the Colts. I like the Colts.
I like the Colts too.
Okay, we take money line, or what do you think?
Plus 2.5 is fine. I mean,
Plus 2.5 is kind of like why don't you do money line at that point? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay, we'll meet in the middle. Plus 2.5. We think Colts will cover.
Yeah.
Okay, Chargers, Washington. So terrible teams last year. They're both pretty. They got high expectations. It's 1 point.
Wow.
I think it's in Washington.
I like Washington, honestly.
I kind of like Washington.
I like Washington.
I think we take Washington. I think it's in DC too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their D line's a bunch of monsters.
Fitzpatrick is going to ball out. He's got Terry McLaurin.
I like my Terry McLaurin on my team. Anyways, all right. So we would take Washington to money line.
Jaguars.
Jacksonville, Houston, the battle of the trash.
Trash can. Bull.
Jacksonville -3, and one of our bets we took Jacksonville money line
Yeah.
because we think it's going to be a really close game. So
I think -3 Jacksonville is what I would do.
think they take that. All right. So
Just
we'll do
without Deshaun Watson there.
Yeah,
I mean, that would just be a storyline.
that'd be so
Trevor Lawrence loses to backup
unquarterbacked Houston Texans team.
Yeah, Trevor, you gotta win that one, buddy.
All right. Okay. Last one. I believe it's the last one. Okay. Jets, Panthers. This is what is a very interesting
And
game.
that Jacksonville game might not be pretty, but Trevor, you gotta get that one done.
I have to win that game.
All right, now let's talk about Jets.
Jets, Panthers. So they're saying Sam Darnold's going to come back, revenge game, covering -5.5.
I know we've been going through stats all season. Revenge games, NFL stats. Let's see if we got it.
The over/under's 45. I think.
Should you buy into the fantasy revenge game? Players play better when they face their former teams. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Dope.
I'm just
Okay. Bank of America. So it's in Charlotte. So it's a home game. Man, it's an interesting game. Zach Wilson coming in, his replacement. I don't know. I don't. I think the Jets can. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Jets can cover that, but I think the Panthers are going to win the game, to be honest. But I don't know. What do you think?
Panthers. I don't know, man. I sort
Over
of,
under. I kind of like the over, to be honest.
yeah.
They're both trashy. Christian
I don't
McCaffrey.
know. I could see those two teams struggling, man. Like we haven't.
It's going to go either way.
You know what? Darnold hasn't proven anything, and I know Wilson's having a hell of a preseason, but like this is his first big game. I could see the two teams being like tied like 3-3 first quarter. Like,
Wow.
you know what I mean?
I know. I think it's either way.
Can you see what I'm saying?
It's going to be a lot of scoring or no scoring.
I mean, I put so much thought into those earlier picks that like now I'm kind of worn out.
I'm a little worn out. Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna do every game next time, but
Yeah.
this was a fun little thing.
It was a good trial. I think we should just take Panthers money line. I don't think we should play around.
Well, we're doing all pick 'em. It's all spreads.
You want to do spread?
You got to do spread everything, man.
Ugh.
Because we're gonna have our record.
You're right. Okay, we gotta think this. We gotta think this through. Man, I feel like somebody's gonna win by a field goal. That's what I feel like.
Do you want to take Jets plus 3 or plus 5.5?
Yeah.
Jets plus 5.5.
Jets plus 5.5.
So-
We got through it all, people.
Wow. All right.
That was a lot of games. Well, now our three favorites.
All right. Our 3 favorites.
We like the Saints and Green Bay over
Yes, sir.
a lot. And that's 50. We love the over, so that's one of them.
I like Eagles plus 3.5. Oh, it moved to 3.5. Oh, it's plus 3.5. Yeah, you're right. We talked about that. I like Eagles money line.
I think we take Eagles money line. And hold on 1 second. I have the other one here. Let me look.
Bills.
Yeah, the Bills to cover -6.5. We think the Bills are gonna win by a touchdown.
Those are our 3 bets.
Those are our three favorite of everything we've talked
Bet
about.
all 3. I don't know if I'll parlay those, but I'd bet those 3. I think it's a winner.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
think
parlay is sketch, right? Like you're not gonna always win your parlay, but
I think
we're pretty confident that we're gonna go at least 2 for 3 there,
yeah.
which is a winning day.
Yeah, so those are our favorite ones. So to recap, Green Bay, New Orleans over, Eagles money line, and the Bills to cover -6.5.
So that's just like one thing that we think is gonna likely happen. One thing that is the Eagles game.
No, it's our three picks.
Yeah, but I'm just getting into it. The Eagles, we like the value at the money line, and we think they can win that outright. And then the Bills just have the Steelers number, and we like that pick.
Yeah. So I think we're done with football. Do you want to do any baseball or
We'll just do quick.
We'll do quick baseball. So
We talked about it last week, the Dodgers-Giants series. That's all we're going to talk about.
yeah.
We liked what we saw.
So what did we say was going to happen? We said they were going to win the first one. They won the first one in extra innings.
And then we thought
The second game we thought they were going to lose.
we thought they were going to lose the next 2.
Yeah.
We
And
didn't.
they did. They lost. Urias got the win, 5-1, right?
Yeah, but then they beat Bueller.
No, I'm
Yeah.
going day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I can't believe it.
They finally beat Bueller.
They took Bueller out of the game
4 innings, shortest start, most runs he's given up, all that.
since 2019.
First loss to the
That was his
Giants.
shortest start since 2019. 2
I mean-
years.
I mean, that was like beating Bueller and like literally just having their way. Every inning they scored on him, every inning they had guys on base. They were hitting the ball well. They were seeing the ball well. I went to the game. It was a great atmosphere. Very competitive game. Just huge win for the Giants. Just like psychologically to get over that.
I just think exactly. I think that I know Scherzer's been on tear. He might win the Cy Young, who knows? But I think that was the last battle that the last hurdle they had to overcome with the Dodgers. I think in a series, I think they should be just as confident. I think the Giants should almost be more confident than the Dodgers.
You know what's crazy? It's like the Padres were an uber talented team, right?
Yeah,
But they were scared of the Dodgers. You know
their
what?
little brother,
You know
little
what?
brother syndrome.
They were always a little brother. And you know the other thing is like I read this somewhere. It's like they were cocky, they were talking shit, but they never actually believed it. You know what I mean? Like that somewhere
They're better. They thought they were better than that.
they thought they were better than them, but they got freaking punked in the playoffs, and they got punked. Like this year, they couldn't beat the Dodgers really at all.
I just don't think the Giants are scared. They took
The Giants are not
they
scared.
took their best. It's like when you get like boxing. They took the Dodgers' best punch. You know, they took Bueller, and you know Bueller's beaten them time and time, years now, and they literally. I haven't seen Bueller pitch that bad in a long time. He got shelled. Like
You know what's crazy is like I look at the Giants lineup, and the Dodgers are one of the best lefty hitting teams, but like lefty bats, right, with Muncy and Seager and all these guys. But
yeah,
it's like when I look at the Giants, man, like they're kind of a team that's built to give the Dodgers problems.
mm-hmm.
They have pitching and power. What do the Dodgers do? Pitching and power.
They're like doppelganger kind of. They're kind of like them, but they cost a lot less money.
Yeah,
They're very similar. Like
and
they have similar strengths.
And what are you gonna do, man? Like Bellinger, like literally is an issue in the lineup. Like you can't have him there. But with Pollock injured, you need him out there because he's a defensively, he's a good fit.
He's a major liability.
I mean, he's
To
almost
their
batting,
entire-
he's almost batting worse than Bueller.
You told me the other day he was batting eighth.
He's batting right before him.
2 years ago, what would you be thinking now?
He was batting first. He was,
No.
Yo, sorry.
That, 2 years if I told you in 2 years, Bellinger, what is he, 27, 28 still? Like
He's young.
26 maybe? I don't know.
Super young.
He's young. In 2 years, Bellinger's going to be hitting eighth and hitting around 200. Would you believe that?
He's hitting in 100. 160.
Is that how? Oh yeah, that's how low he was. 160.
Dude,
Hitting below 200.
it's
And
hilarious.
and a ways below 200.
It makes their lineup so much less scary. Like I was looking at it on the big screen, I was like, okay, you know, like Mookie Betts still can be a problem. He didn't have that big of a game, but he can still be an issue out there. He has good at bats. He sees the ball. He's good defense. All this, but Cody Bellinger, having him right before the freaking pitcher, you're literally giving two outs. That's a rally killer.
And you know what else?
That's a rally killer.
For betting purposes, if you're against the Dodgers and Bellinger's in the lineup, you're going to get 2 or 3 strikeouts. I would bet if you have a good pitcher, I would take strikeouts at a prop.
Yeah, totally.
Because he's 2 or 3 strikeouts. Like, he strikes out twice a game.
And there's some bright spots as well. I just want to go over a couple of bright spots, especially with the bullpen. One standout performance in that game, to me, was the guy with the colorful hair on the Giants.
Daldo, or
Yeah, I think so.
the kid that throws heat, that young
He
guy.
threw 100, yeah. It's gas. He came in.
His
and
last name's Daldo, I believe.
he came in with some, like, Duvall.
Duvall, sorry.
He
Duvall.
came in, and, dude, he just pitched, man. He inherited Quintana, had a little, like, Quintana went 2 innings. The first was smooth. The second inning, he got to the second out. It was smooth. It looked like he was going to go, like, 4 innings.
That walk
And then he
was,
walked a guy,
but
walked another guy.
it was a terrible call.
It
The
was a
second
terrible
one was
call.
a bad.
It was a terrible call.
It was about a foot off the plate. And instead of, well, he's young as heck. What is he, 21, 22?
Quintana?
No, pitcher.
Wait, who are you talking about right now? I'm talking about Quintana.
No, I was talking about the next
Duvall?
guy.
No, all right. Like,
Duvall
you skipped
also
ahead.
had a bad walk. Oh, you're going back.
You skipped
Okay,
ahead.
I got you. Quintana, go
So,
ahead. Go through Quintana.
Quintana was going to get out of the inning, and it looked like he was going to coast. Like, I was talking to my dad. I went to the game with him, and I was like, man, like Quintana could just give us 4 innings right now, get us to Tyler Rogers, and then we're set. Because he was rolling, it looked like.
Yeah,
And then he had 1 walk, 1 hit, and then that was it.
the
Like,
wheels kind of fell off.
The wheels
yeah.
fell off. He started losing himself in the count, and
Yeah.
they switched him out for Duvall. You're right. The walk was. Now
Duvall got
take
what
it.
did he? He got 1 out. He got a pop-up out,
Yeah.
and then it wasn't a walk.
No, he didn't get any outs.
Oh, he
yet.
didn't get any outs. But his first at bat, he had him dead to rights, and he called it a ball. It was a
Yeah.
full count. It was a strike 3, and instead of losing his confidence, and he's young, right? He's like 20. This guy, Duvall, he's very young. Instead of losing it, he got 3 straight outs. Didn't give up a run. I thought, like, from a young pitcher who throws heat, who definitely, like, every young pitcher that throws that much power, they have control issues usually, and they get overwhelmed. They get too, like, fired up, and they'll throw wild. But he totally reeled it in, and he was able to get 3 outs without giving up a run. And I thought that was super impressive. Like, I was like, wow. I remember listening to John Miller, Crooked Cup. They're like, we need to see more of this kid. This kid's a stud. Like,
That was impressive. And,
oh, crazy.
and Quintana, like, he was impressing me before he had that little meltdown. Like, he looked
Yeah.
pretty good out there, and he used to be pretty good on the Cubs. So we'll keep an eye out. He's just
The only problem in that game, I don't love McGee as the closer. Like, I'm not a huge fan of McGee.
he's really sketch.
He sketches up, like, what did you say? What did you say the other day? You need to have at least 2 runs.
He needs a cushion
He needs a 2-run cushion.
because
That's crazy.
he's always gonna give up that like base hit. Like he'll strike the first guy out, and then he'll get a ground out, and then someone will get a hit, and then
if he misses, it's a home run.
the wheels.
If
fall
he misses, it's a home run. And so it was really sad for us, at least. Pujols hit a 2-run home run off of him. Albert Pujols, who is a dinosaur. And all respect to him, he was great in his day, but
I mean, he's got.
he threw a 91-mile-an-hour fastball in the zone, 4-seamer. What are you going to do with that? I think a lot of people would park that one. Like,
Especially a guy who's made a career off it.
well, it's like the only thing you can hit nowadays. Like, I don't see Pujols hitting really well against off speed. Like, it's just like,
but that's like, it's like someone who's done the same thing his entire life. Like, let's say he's some old person in
Oh,
their
no.
career, but they can still do that one thing.
well, you know what he's going to throw. He's going to throw a 4-seam fastball.
I knew he was going to park it.
And I can't believe that it was a 91, though. When I saw that it was 91, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
But
At least you could throw your 98, 99 McGee. Like, anyways. McGee's for the playoffs, I'm very uncomfortable with him.
Yeah.
All the other pitching, even Gausman's gotten a little bit better. Like, Gausman's been improving. I really don't like McGee as the closer. Like, it really sketches me out.
But on the contrary, that Rogers has just been like unhittable. I mean, he's like a top 5.
I know.
reliever.
Would you have him to move him to closer?
No, he doesn't throw hard enough. I think the reason why the McGee Rogers combo sometimes works really
Because
well.
you switch up the speed so much, right?
It's such a speed. That's what they like.
It's 77, 78 to 98. It's a 20-mile-an-hour difference.
It's a funky.
And one's coming up. He's the sidearm. He's a submariner, Tyler Rogers.
no one can see it.
It's going up, and then McGee's coming, hitting you top of the zone with 98-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Like Rogers has gotten hit, McGee's gotten hit, but like combined together, I know McGee wasn't great, but I feel like
That's a good point. I do love them back-to-back. They're great
they're
back-to-back.
a nice duo.
Because it messes you up. It messes,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, your timing's off.
Well, because throughout the game you're getting 95, and then it goes 7th inning comes around, 8th inning comes around, boom, 75 off.
I love Rogers. It makes you rethink, and then you got to come back to the fastball, and you've been off an inning and a half.
And then McGee's like, all he's doing is heat, and it just totally messes up with your timing. I mean, it's genius.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm glad that he's kind of strayed away from his changeup because that was getting killed earlier.
Who, Rogers?
McGee,
Oh,
remember when he's throwing changeups
He's-
earlier?
I think if he worked on his slider more, like just had some.
It's all right. I've seen him throw a couple all right
He doesn't like to
sliders.
throw it.
No, he doesn't trust it at all.
No.
No. But anyways, so then the Giants beat the Rockies handedly, and the St. Louis Cardinals got killed by the Dodgers yesterday.
Yeah, it's just gonna be
So,
who can beat the other team.
It's going to be a hell of a race.
I
yeah.
suspect the Dodgers to take it, but I think it's gonna be really close, and
They're not going to enjoy playing us. The Giants.
The Giants.
In the NLDS.
The Giants are the only team maybe in the MLB that's not afraid of the Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
I sense it, like just being there at the game.
They're
Like,
not afraid.
They're not down to like the guy that they called up, like Duggar. Like they're not afraid of the Dodgers.
No.
And in that like sentence, that's where if you're a Dodgers fan or you're just in that organization, you're a little bit worried because what have they been for the last 12 years? The most feared team in the league.
They're not. The
it's
Giants are not
amazing.
scared of them at all.
They're not. Not-
And like, it's honest. Like they're not scared of them. Like it's not. They're just. It's not like with the Padres where they're trying to convince themselves. And
no,
they are.
because you know the Giants aren't like they're not running around the bases screaming at the dugout talking shit.
Mhm.
They're just winning.
They're calm and confident, and they hit clutch against the Dodgers.
They're not showboating.
No.
Like Tatis and Machado, you know, they're entertaining as hell, but you know they're all talking the whole game, and then what ends up happening? You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like the Giants just have their number. I mean, they won the total series this year.
Well, you know what I think a bigger part of it is too? The Giants have the old vets. They got the old war horses. They got
Yeah.
Crawford. Even Belt's been contributing. They got Posey, the old war horses, not these young guns that are all talk.
I want to hear you say something about Bell. You
I hate Brandon Belt.
You finally got 20 home runs.
First time in his career, he's getting paid $15 million a year, and this
I
was the
know.
first year he hit 20 home
He
runs
has-
as a first baseman.
All right.
As a first baseman,
Enough ranting. Can you give him a little credit here?
he's bit hottest streak I've ever seen him on, ever.
He's been turning it up.
Ever. If he carries us into the playoffs, if they win a World Series, and he contributes, I'll take back the 4 years of hate on him. 5 years of hate. I will.
All right,
Because like you know what it's comping to me right now? It's like Barry Zito. Barry Zito was the worst contract ever, but that one 2012 ring, I took it all back. You get anyone a World Series ring, a championship, I don't care. It's whatever.
I think Belt's contributed a little more, but I see what you mean.
No, he has contributed. It's just so upsetting to me. If he was a utility outfielder,
Yeah,
I would be so much more understanding.
I got you.
Him being a first baseman is a major hole in the past.
But what's crazy, and I talked to you about this yesterday, and I know you're totally right.
Yeah.
He has been a hole.
As a first baseman, it's upsetting. It's the position.
But this year, like, if he played the entire season, he probably was on pace to hit 30 home runs because he did not play a lot of games this year.
Because he was terrible the first 6
Well,
weeks.
he got hurt.
He got hurt, but he was also bad when he came back.
He wasn't great. No, he wasn't
Yeah.
great. But I
And then
feel like
Lamont started heating up, and
I think having Lamont and
Ruff.
having Ruff, like, that kind of lit a fire under his ass. Like he
Yeah, because he wasn't playing.
yeah.
He had Lamont and Ruff just switching off. They were the two-headed combo at first base. But I got to give it, you know, I know we're on this one game a lot, but I got to give him all the I think Bueller getting, you know, the second he was batting second that game, right? Or was it 2 outs in the
Belt
first
was
inning?
batting second.
So to get 1 out, you know, you're playing the Giants, who you in the mindset of Bueller, who has just destroyed the Giants over a couple of years now, and Belt parks one to the deepest part of the Giants stadium, and it's not easy to hit a home run in the Giants stadium. 419,
Let alone in the corner.
419 in that corner,
Yeah.
and he hit it about 425.
Yeah.
And imagine golf's he got down under that and parked it to deep right center field. I think that shook Bueller. And then he just he gave up hits, and then it got in his head. I think any pitcher, I think when the second batter of the game doesn't even hit like a gimme home run, like barely over the fence, but parks one over 420 feet,
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing in their head.
That's a statement.
That shakes you. That shakes you as
And
a
that
pitcher.
also gives your teammates confidence. Like, hey, you know, Brandon,
That's like, this guy's destroyed us.
Belt
Belt just parked one, second batter of the game. Like,
yeah, that was huge.
I think he was a major reason why they won that game. But
That's totally underrated. You're right. I thought the same thing though.
yeah, I think the Dodgers will probably catch them. But man, the NLDS is going to be nuts. So we'll probably just leave it at that. Yeah. So
That was pretty much what
That's
we had
about
to
it.
say.
yeah, the NLS race.
We'll include the picks in the description.
Yeah, the 3 main ones.
We'll add some little timelines on there, and we're gonna try and do an episode a week. So stay tuned.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.